We're here to make this thing happen, man. We got so much going on in the world. The energy might be a little weird right now. Yes, it is. Hi, you guys need a mic. Yes, yes, we would.
The world's going through, guys, definitely. The world's going through a collective dark night of the soul. Like we're going through it. Like everybody, all around this planet. But I, there's something that's very encouraging to me, and it's encouraging for me to see so many people who are waking up or already awakened. Like that part is just, and I don't know if I never noticed this before. Like I'll say this, I never noticed this before my awakening. I never ran into people, I wasn't on the frequency probably, right. So I never noticed it, but now I'm looking everywhere I go. I'm seeing people, talking to people, meeting people who understand this or trying to understand it. So that's encouraging in spite of all the mess that's happening. Like we literally going through a collective dark night of the soul, like for real. I mean, the energy, yeah. I mean, worldwide, not just here.
So
D'Angelo.
Let me see. Can you see
Okay,
this?
we got you, D'Angelo. And Steph, and let me see.
Let me see. I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I got the right screen up here.
Okay, we could see it. It's just
It's not. How did I do this before? I had it up here when I was practicing.
Well, I mean, if push comes to shove, we'll just read it and then have a discussion, about it.
Oh, there it is. I found the podium.
Okay, all right, you got the podium. Okay, the mic.
I was tinkering. So I think that's a good place to start. The dark night of the soul. Can y'all see that?
Yes, I can see it.
See the definition? Get your pens, get your pads out. And this is a true definition of the dark night of the soul. A period of deep inner struggle where old identities, beliefs, and attachments fall away. It often feels like confusion, emptiness, or despair, but it is ultimately a sacred process of purification and rebirth into a higher level of consciousness. I don't know what this says right here, but that is what we are.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that. Whatever. That's what we're experiencing right now. This is a time when everything is breaking down. This is everything that we have been told, belief systems. If you notice, religious structures are being dismantled. People are starting to question. People are really becoming more aware that some of the things, the math ain't mathing. The math is not math, and the old ways just don't simply work the same. The old ways, people feel trapped. And we're in a space and time. We're in the age of Aquarius now, honey. Everybody wants freedom. They want a sense of freedom. They don't want to be restricted. They don't want people telling them what to do. They don't want people holding them back and making them feel like they don't have choices. You have all the choices in the world. You have infinite amount of choices to make. We make choices daily. And unfortunately, we have systems that are in place that are trying to make you believe that you don't. They really want you to believe that you have to follow what they say. They try to use fear tactics. They try to use things such as you're not going to that beautiful, magical, golden and white place in the sky after you die. They have all of these manipulations that they're using to make you move further and further away from your truth. Further and further away from your truth. And when we go through our personal dark night of the soul, oh my gosh, you feel like you're dying. And you feel like you want to die. You feel like everything and all things that you know that you have are literally, you're losing. You just feel like you're losing everything. You feel like everything's breaking. You feel unworthy. You feel unloved. You don't have any sense of direction or what you should do. Everything that you tried is failing, or what appears to be failing. I remember going through one of my biggest dark night of the souls, And I remember telling my mother, you know how you can kind of imagine the future a little bit? You can kind of foresee even tomorrow. I told her, I don't see anything. I said, it's just dark. It's just all black. Like there's a void. It was scary. But right after I experienced that, everything started cracking open. It was almost like a flooding of things that I had manifested, things that I had prayed for, things that I had asked for, just started flooding in effortlessly. But that was also because when you go through a dark night of the soul and you stay on that path, when you stay focused, when you stay intentional, when you stay just a what did they say, just a mustard seed of faith, you're not gonna lose. You can't lose.
You know, when you as you were just talking about Dark Night of the Soul, let me break it down a little bit deeper. So in Dark Night of the Soul, that means, so what do we all focus on in this life? We focus on trying to get to a place of comfort. We get to a place of stability in our lives. That means we'll have comfort and stability with our jobs, with our relationships, with our finances, with our health, with our mental health, with our mentality, our personalities. We work really, really hard to get to a place of stability. During Dark Night of the Soul, that rug is pulled from underneath you. That means your stability's gone. Whatever financial security you had, that's something that could probably go. Whatever relationship security you had, that probably is something that's going to go. Whatever mental health state that you had and you were stable, that's going. Now depression, welcome anxiety, welcome whatever other personality, welcome health issues, welcome chaos within your relationships. Now welcome chaos within your life. And everything goes wrong. You guys heard of Murphy's Law, right? Murphy's Law, whatever can go wrong will go wrong. That's when Murphy's Law kicks in full time. Everything goes wrong. And so when you are experiencing this, as Don's talking about, you're losing your identity too, because a lot of times your identity is attached to some of these things, your job or your relationships. Hey, I was married, I'm good. Now you're not married. You don't have a relationship anymore. Now your kids are mad at you. Now things are going wrong at the job. And so when you lose all of these things, as Dawn's talking about, you lose yourself, you lose your identity. And for me, when I went through my first Dark Night of the Soul, I went through depression because I didn't understand. I didn't know I was going through a Dark Night of the Soul. I went through a deep, deep depression because all of these things were I was losing all of these things and I was losing my mind. And like Dawn said, I thought it was time for me to not be here anymore. That's how bad it was. Like I thought it was time for me to go. So I just want to put that in there. Like it, and as I'm ever talking about this, if you guys have examples of your Dark Night of the Soul, feel free to drop them in the in the comments, or you can come up and share your experience with us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the chat, let us know, have you experienced or been able to identify when you have gone through at least one Dark Night of the Soul? Have you experienced it? Because we do go through multiple as we go through these cycles of awakening. Yeah. What emotion did you predominantly feel while you were going through this? Because as Dom said, depression, man, that heavy. It just feels like like I said, you want to leave. Yes. You feel like it's time. You feel like that's that moment. It can't get any worse than this other than leaving. That's what it really feels like. And if you've gone to what we consider to be rock bottom, like that is the rock, that's underneath the rock. Okay. You're underneath the rock bottom. If you've ever felt that, loss of both parents 6 months apart in 2022, yes, that's the grief is a part of it. And it is, like in the definition, it is something that is soul shifting, depressed and outside of your body.
Yes, depression out. Yeah. Awesome. And listen, so these examples, and as you guys type more in, it's not one size fits all. It's different things. Like like somebody just said, I lost both of my parents. It feels like I've been in the Dark Night of the Soul for more than a year now. And listen, yes, it can last that amount of time. It's not a couple weeks. This is like you literally see your life crashing, and there is no way. One thing that in my last Dark Night of the Soul in 2023 that I recognized was like, okay, there's no way that all of this is happening right now, and there's nothing I can do to stop any of it. And this is not something that's happening just as a coincidence. No, there are so many things that are happening, and as those things are happening, you stop and you think like, is there something going wrong? Like what? And it's like, well, this is being orchestrated. Actually, your Dark Night of the Soul is being orchestrated, and as Dawn said, it's for your awakening. It's for your growth. You are being stripped of everything that will be a distraction from you getting to the next version of yourself. Everything, because in all actuality, a lot of times, some of the things that are there are sometimes become distractions from us growing because we're comfortable with those things. And so everything gets removed. We get stripped because it's almost like a shedding. You're going to shed everything. It says, universe cleared my whole energy field, depression, lack of energy, lack of desire, but that's changing. That's real. That is real. Did you feel that too, Dawn? Is that what you felt? Like when you talk about the emotions, what did you feel?
I felt the depression, but I also felt you feel everything that comes with depression. You feel the lonely, you feel the misunderstood, you feel the failure, you feel that everything and all things that you do, no matter what, you no longer have that Midas touch. It's like everything you do just crumbles. All of your efforts go and they're just wasted. You feel like, you really get to the point. I mean, I did personally. You feel like everybody in the world would be better off without you. That's really how deep it goes. Like there is nothing that I'm contributing to this world. But when I first went through it, the first time I actually recognized it, because we've gone through them before, it's just that there's that one that's really, really intense. And I literally was looking and just figuring out how fast I could drive or I should drive in order to hit that brick wall that was in front of me. I said, what kind of speed do I have to go at to make this effective? But here's what happens. Well, here's what happened to me. I don't know if it happened to the rest of you that helped you. I don't want to say snap out of it, but it's almost like it did snap you out of that. There is a divine intervention that takes place in that moment where you feel like you can't take it anymore. And that divine intervention at that time was hearing my son's voice. He was 4. It was hearing his voice. It was something about it that just did it. Because at that time, I didn't feel like he deserved a better mother than what I was offering. He deserved better as far as I didn't have anything to give anybody. I had nothing. I was that drained. I was depleted. I was depressed. I was that sunken to the point where I'm like, he'd be better off without me because I'm not giving him the best. I don't have the best anymore. And it's that, and the second time I went through a dark night of the soul and that divine intervention happened, it was just one phone call from a friend that was just random that just snapped me out of it. It was weird. She didn't even want anything. It was just in that moment, something happened. And it helped me shift my gear into another realm. It's crazy, but you really start to question everything. Why and what am I doing here? Well, it makes you go into that space of questioning, which then leads you to the next phase. Well, that's we'll go through the 7 stages of awakening, but that dark night of the soul takes you into the 3rd step, which is becoming a seeker, finding the answers to those questions that have been swirling around within you that you just they've been antagonizing you. They've been harassing you. They've been bothering you. Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? Why isn't this working? Why isn't this happening? How come my relationships are all jacked up? How come I don't feel good? All of these things are now questions that you have as you're matriculating out of the dark night of the soul when you become a seeker of truth, your truth. And you find that in books, personal development. You find that some people find that in church. Some people find that in watching documentaries. It doesn't matter. You just start looking for answers that resonate with you. It isn't so much, yes, you are seeking things outside of yourself, but you're also looking for what resonates with you on an internal level. I don't know if your service is good. You're skipping.
So the most humbling experience also. Okay, hold on, let me see.
But it's also the most
Can you hear me?
enlightening. It is. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, and I was reading that the most humbling experience, but also the most enlightening experience. Well, yeah, because and just to piggyback on what you're saying, going through mine. Well, I've been through three. I think there was more. I got to really look at those. But three that I'm aware of. But there was a time in the last dark night of the soul where I recognized that I was in a dark night of the soul. Because when you're going through it, you don't know that that's what you're going through. No one. That's the thing. Dark night of the soul. They don't hand you an email or a pamphlet and say, "Well, hey, this is what's about to happen." It just happens. It just happens. And you're wondering what the hell. I was just doing good, like Don said. I had the Midas touch. Everything I touched turned to gold. Now everything you touch turns to dust. And then you're just wondering. You just left sitting there wondering. No one tells you. There is no pamphlet. There is nothing that tells you or prepares you for that amount of loss and the grief that comes with that. The grief. When Don's talking about driving and looking at the. And if I just crash into this wall, the level of grief is unbearable. Listen, there's going to be a lot of crying. You're going to be crying. You're going to be, y'all remember the cry where you crying, you like, that comes from here? It's that type of crying.
It's all up in the stomach. It's twisted.
Yeah. It's that crying. There's going to be a lot of crying. There's going to be a lot of despair. There's going to be a lot of questioning. There's going to be and again, it gets to the place where you start wondering, am I supposed to be here anymore? And then the answer is yes, you are supposed to be here. The answer is that, and I want to say this last part is that in my last dark night of the soul, I recognized for the first time, in the middle of the dark night of the soul that I was in one.
Yeah.
I recognized.
I did that too.
I was like,
I did that too.
Yeah. First, now I want to say this too. When you first go in, you start fighting it.
Yeah.
You fight it. You scratching, crawling, trying to fight, trying to get everything back, trying to get, and nothing you do works. All doors are closed to you. And then I remember thinking to myself, I was talking to my cousin and he said, well, cuzzo, you just need to do blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man, but I did that. I did that, and none of it worked. And then I stopped and I was like, wait a minute. This is supposed to happen.
Right.
If everything I tried and nothing worked, this is being orchestrated. This is something that's being done on purpose. And then I remember meditating one morning and I was meditating and in the meditation, you do breath work and I was holding my breath. I was holding my breath for 4 seconds and then I had a download saying, hold it longer. Mm-hmm. Hold it longer. Hold it for 10 seconds. Hold it for 15. And I'm like, okay, all right. So I'm holding my breath. And then it said, hold my breath. And then and then it said, now relax. Didn't say breathe, said relax. So the message for me was the message was so powerful. The message was that even though I don't have the thing that is necessary for life, air, relax into that. That was the message that they told me. They said, relax into that. And so I relaxed. And then I remember as I was meditating, I remember just not even feeling like I needed to breathe. But I'm like, well, shoot, I guess I better breathe now because I don't want to die, But the point that was so powerful for me, the message was surrender and relax, even though you don't have what you need. And so that was really, really powerful for me. Let me see who says this. Welcome. That's D'Angelo. As a Scorpio, we live in the realm, constant transformation, never ending, but elevation always. That's for anybody in this journey, not just Scorpios. That's for all of us. I'm a Taurus. I don't know. I'm a recovering Taurus.
Baby, I'm an Aquarius. I've been doing this since first breath. I'm tired, y'all.
You came into this. It's different when you come into this world tired. You come in. I don't know if y'all see those memes with the babies and the picture of the baby looking tired. It's brand new, a baby 3 minutes old, and they had this look on their face like, really? I'm here again?
There I go. Okay, remember? Okay, I'm here now. What?
Came in veiled and feet first. Yep. Nope.
For those that were here last week we kind of breezed over the difference between awakening and a spiritual awakening. Let me pull up the damn definition because I can't. That's too
It's
little.
up there. It's up there.
Yeah, but it's little.
Oh yeah. I got you. Well, read it to us. Read it to us.
I'm pulling it up. So the difference
Okay.
between an awakening. Hold on, 2 seconds. Okay, an awakening or to awaken is the moment of waking up from illusions, conditioning, or unconscious living. Awakening brings greater awareness to truth, self, and reality. So that's kind of like you're living on autopilot. You are programmed. You are doing life as you usually do, business as usual. Nothing shifts. And then all of a sudden you have an awakening saying, wait a minute, it doesn't feel right anymore. I want different. Something, there's more to this than what I'm doing. And when you awaken, that begins a sense of curiosity. But like I said, there's that sweet spot that comes after an awakening. And that is when you start to dismantle, also known as the dark night of the soul. So when you start waking up, it's kind of like, okay, I pulled the veil back. Now I get to see the ugly monster. And when you see the ugly monster, oh my God, Beauty and the Beast just came to mind. Okay, you see the ugly monster, but now you have to see the beauty behind what you see right in front of you. Because what you see right in front of you is ugly. It's scary. It's treacherous. You want to run away from it. But if you just hang in there just a little bit, it gets good. It gets juicy. I promise you.
You sound like a preacher. But if you just hang in there a little bit.
I got my little pulpit up here.
As you were saying that, hey, listen, as you were saying that, the Matrix. Let me see. Everybody on here, if you have not seen The Matrix, that is your homework assignment. That is your homework assignment. I'm going to need you to watch The Matrix Part 1.
I think everybody should watch it anyway. Again, if you see it.
If you know what? That's bars. If you see that movie, watch it. If you haven't seen it, and if you've seen it, watch it. Watch it again, because you're going to see Neo when he wakes up to the Matrix. As Dawn said, it's ugly. It's horrible. And then he has a problem because before he woke up, he was just walking, doing everything like everybody, going to work, doing his thing. And when he woke up to the reality of what was happening, he struggled for a minute. He struggled because like, this can't be real. My whole, everything I believed is a lie. The religion I believe, the work, go to work and then die and take a 2-week vacation and die. Relationship, everything that he believed was a lie. And then, like Don said, you wake up to the ugliness of it. He woke up to the ugliness of it, and then he started his journey on what to do about the ugliness of the world. That's the I'm gonna say that part, but
yeah, definitely watch it again, because there's so much. It's like I almost know it by heart. I've seen it so many times. He went through the pain of transformation when he had to be reborn in the little pod, and just all the tubing that he had. He had to go through that pain. And that is what you experience in the dark night of the soul. That's what you experience in transformation, period. It's Constantine and Devil's Advocate as well. Those are two amazing movies that really break it down. I'm gonna make a whole list of some and books as well that will reflect this as well. But that is having an awakening, that everything, that is literally the glass being cracked, and you see what's behind the door. You see what's been hiding from you in plain sight. It's not like it's hidden. It's just you're so programmed from what the Matrix or society or your religion or your family has taught you. You can't see what's literally right there saying hello every day. It's like, hey, we get to the point where we say, I never noticed that before. How many times have you said that? I didn't realize that was there. Yeah, because now your vantage point is different. Your perception is different. Your outlook is different. You're starting to really, really look at things, not just see them. You're really looking, and when we go through an awakening, it is very unfortunate because, we want to take everybody with us. We want everybody to see it. We want everybody to be as excited as us. We want everybody to, oh my gosh. People used to ask me, why are you so hyped up about this? I'm like, do you know what this means? They'd be like, nah. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's for me, not you. Maybe you'll get it at some point, but you also have to go through the pain of that, the loneliness that comes with that. Everybody's not going to get it, but you do at some point begin to attract your tribe, such as what we're doing here in this space.
It's not a community project. That's another thing that you find out when you awaken and you find, as you was talking about this, I just thought about something. We all experience an awakening at some level in life early on. Remember when you awaken to the world of childhood and in the world of adulthood, and you start to see, you realize, oh, that's Santa Claus ain't real, or you start to realize the adult world. You go from kid to, and then you realize you've been lied to.
Mm-hmm.
I've been bamboozled. We've been lied to. This is really how this works. That's one level of awakening. But then when you become an adult and you start realizing the systems that are put in place, everything that's put in place, simply to just keep us going in the matrix. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I was like, there are things like our jobs. Our jobs keep us in the matrix. Relationships, the concept of, oh, let me just wake up and get into marriage and then get a house. There's nothing wrong with that in and of itself. Don't get me wrong. But those are things that keep us in that, because now we just live for what? We live for the house in our relationship. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you wake up. When you wake up, as Dawn is saying, it's like, your waking up is not your awakening is not a community project. You wake up to, and then you're lonely, like she says, because you're like, hey, did y'all see this? They looking at you like they still plugged in. So they looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Life is good over here.
Yeah, people thought I was crazy because when The Matrix did come out in the movie theater, what year was that? Like 90, what was it?
Yeah,
90?
that was, 99, like the
98?
90, 98, something like that.
I went to see it 3 times in the theater.
You wasn't playing.
It was that intriguing. It was 99. Yeah, I went to see it 3 times. And when I tell you, there was something to, and I was hyped. I was like, yo, do y'all get it? And they were like, no. I'm like, they're literally telling you what you see is not what you get. What you're experiencing is not real. It's what's been told to you. Like Dom just said, you think, oh, get the house, get the relationship, get all of that. Guess what? They're not telling you to find yourself, discover yourself, figure out who you really are and why you're supposed to be here. They tell you, this. It's amazing to me how we're in a stage right now where people are getting divorced in their 40s and their 50s because they realize I'm not the same person I was in my 20s when I married you. Mm-hmm. But I also married you not knowing who I really was. So now they feel like they're behind schedule. They feel like they wasted so much time just now trying to figure out who they are because they didn't do it on the front end. Mm-hmm. Whereas we now are going into a space of like people are choosing singleness. People are choosing their solitude because they had it so congested and busy with everybody else in the first part. When we should honor that space now. If you look at it, Gen Z and them, they're not thinking about all that. They're thinking about who they are, where they want to go, what they want to do by themselves. They're not thinking about linking up and cuddling and all. They don't want to do all that.
Linking up and cuddling. Ain't nothing wrong with linking up and cuddling.
There's nothing wrong with it, but that's not what drives them.
Right.
That's not what purpose drives them. Identity drives them. This is the most group I've ever. Identity? Who are you? What do I call myself? No matter how you look at it across the board, they are focused on who they are and how they project themselves in the world. Mm-hmm. And there's. No, go ahead. It's unfortunate that, I would say Gen X and above don't get that. That's not how they process. They think they're weird. They think they're all those things. And when I look at my kid and he's like, okay, girls are there. I see them, but I ain't on that right now. Yeah, okay, they doing this over here, they doing that over there, but I'm not on that right now. I'm trying to get where I'm supposed to be. I'm trying to do my own thing. I don't need to go with the status quo. I don't need to, of course, that came from partially my upbringing too, but at the end of the day, he's not that far off from the rest of his class. He's not. And you gotta look at that and be like, damn, I wish I was that daring at that age. Like that's pretty dope what they're
Yeah,
doing.
I'm Gen X, and we came. Our boomers was our parents, and we tried to buck a little bit, but they put us back in check real quick, and so and then, but to your point, Don, a lot of Gen X and a lot of boomers look at the millennials, Gen Z, Alpha, and looks at them and say, well, they're weirdos. Something wrong with them because they're not fitting in. They're not, and in our generation, we'll be like, well, my time was the best time. Yeah, we had some great times, but that's not the end all be all. This generation is coming in, ushering in a new age of awareness, and
Yep.
they're bringing awareness in waves. They coming in with awareness. They coming in ready. They're like, well, no, that's some hot garbage that y'all talking about. I'm not following that. Yeah, I know generations have done that before me, but I'm not doing that no more.
It don't
We
work no
done.
more.
And then they have the boldness. Oh, listen, they got the boldness to cut you off if you mistreat them. Our generation was this. Our generation was like, listen, people will mistreat you, and family will mistreat you in every single way possible, but you're supposed to stay with them because of loyalty. And
Yep.
that's what we did.
And they
Gen Z,
said nope.
millennials, Gen X are like, oh, you gonna mistreat me? Oh, you're not gonna apologize? Oh, okay, cool, no contact, no contact. I'm not even and the other generation is like, what kind of mess is this? And I always say this. I say, well, listen, because I was talking to somebody recently about this who was cut off, and they was like, well, these kids have no loyalty these days. I said, well, I don't think it's loyalty that's missing. I think it's love that's missing. They missed out on love from you, so that's why they cut you off. If you over here speaking about loyalty, that means you're lacking the love, because love is the connect part, and that's what this generation understands. If they don't feel love, they said, look, we done, we
Yeah.
done. So for whatever you can say about the generations, a lot of people don't like them. I'm so eternally grateful that they are here,
I'm
because
excited
they
for
are
it.
they're ushering in a level of awareness that we have never seen on this planet.
I tell my son
It's,
that all the time. I'm like, you guys are the ones that are going to change this world. I said it's
mm-hmm,
going to be incredible, but I said because you are so free in the mind, in the body, and in the spirit that with everything that's happening and them trying to restrict you, oh gosh, and y'all don't have no no filter first of all, and you come up with all this swinging. I said, oh no, they don't stand a chance. You good? You guys are going to do it right. So I wanted to touch on, so that's an awakening when you wake up to self and how you've been on autopilot and just realizing that the life and the patterns and the ideas that you've had, they just don't work for you anymore. They just don't work for you anymore. It's we go through so many awakenings throughout life. Think of it like this. When you were little and what was your favorite cartoon when you were little? When you were like really, really small, what'd you watch it on TV? What was your favorite cartoon?
mine
Don?
was Mighty Mouse. Mine was
Mighty
Mighty Mouse.
Mouse.
Yeah, Woody
Mighty Mouse is
Woodpecker.
here to stay. What is this, Mighty?
Woody Woodpecker. Woody
Woody Woodpecker?
Woodpecker.
Okay.
Mighty Mouse. Thundercats. Like
Thundercats. I wish they'd make a movie off the Thundercats, man. I love them.
I think they are. They're gonna make it
I hope
eventually.
they do, because I can't wait to see Chitara. Anyways,
Uh-huh.
so Mighty Mouse, you went through an awakening of some kind when you stopped watching those and then shifted into watching maybe, what was your next phase of entertainment?
Transformers.
Okay, no, not like childlike. I'm
Oh,
saying
okay.
like when you elevated.
Okay, so then I went to watching what did I watch after that? I don't know. I was watching a lot of sports after that.
There you go. Not so much cartoons, not
Mm-hmm.
so much childish, but more mature, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of an awakening. Hey, I don't really dig that anymore. I'm not aligned with it anymore. I'm not really entertained by it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
When you go through an awakening, it's something similar. It's just deeper. I no longer identify with that version of me that used to watch those cartoons every Saturday morning or after school. Oh, after school cartoons, man. After
Mm-hmm.
school, you just didn't watch it. You watched them, right? That was your thing. But now you were more in alignment with sports and engulfed yourself in that space. An awakening is just the same. I went from watching Looney Tunes to Comic View. So I did like a huge leap. So I'm listening to people cussing the whole nine, but it's just a matter of you no longer are in alignment with that version of yourself. As you go through an awakening, it's the same thing. Only thing is now you're grown. now it means something different. Now it hits you in certain spaces because you have established relationships, you've established an identity, you've established habits and routines and patterns you're not ready to let go of. So therefore, the more you hold on to it, the more grip you got on it, the harder it is for whatever divine forces is to tug it off of you, to shed you of it. It's excruciating and it's painful, but it's meaningful. Now, when you go through a spiritual awakening, it's a deeper awakening that shifts your entire perspective of life itself. It often involves questioning old patterns, feeling called into purpose, and connecting with your soul and the divine. So now you're going in deep. It's not so much, I don't want to live this life. It's really sitting there like, okay, why am I here? What am I supposed to really be doing that does not only satisfies my bank account, not only satisfies me as far as entertaining me and keep, being satisfied, what satisfies my soul? What really feels good on that level that people, you can't even describe that depth. It's a matter of, if I don't do this thing, I'm going to die with regret. If I really don't do this, I don't want to live this life without accomplishing these things or experiencing these things or getting to influence and inspire. If I don't do this, I don't want to live that life. That's literally what happens when you become spiritually awakened. That becomes your focal point. All that other stuff really starts to fall to the background. You don't care about the money. You don't care about the people. You don't care about the fame. You don't care about anything else. All you are in focus of is that divine spiritual assignment. And you, man, when I tell you, it literally becomes an obsession. It becomes an obsession. That you wake up and you say, I gotta do this. Then when you're asking how, the answers start unfolding. How many of you in this space with us have gone through a spiritual awakening? I think we asked that last week, but we got a bunch of new booties in here.
So that spiritual awakening too is, so the awakening is where you awaken to things in general. You awaken to things in life in general. Like, this life is not what I thought it was. And then that spiritual awakening, that's where you go internal and it becomes personal. I'm not who I thought I was. I'm not where I thought I was supposed to be. What am I supposed to be doing? Who am I supposed to be? And you start looking at yourself. And so I always say this, there's people that go through this journey, and I'm asking, have you gone internal yet? Like, I hear you talking about the world. I hear you talking about how messed up you haven't gone internal? You can't skip a step. You can't skip a step. Like, it should send you within you. It should send you into the deep, dark places in you and pull out whatever is in there. Because whatever is in you that is not of your highest good, it's going to pull out. So, if you're a selfish person, if you have selfishness, if you have, issues, whatever issues that you have, if you got meanness in you, if you got unforgiveness in you, if you got grudges against people, it's coming out. It's coming out. In your spiritual awakening, you're going to go deep. And I always say it like this: when you go inward and you start to figure out what's in there, is where your purpose will come from. It's going to come from when you find out who you really are and what you're supposed to be doing, because you're going to the university of you. And that means you're going to go in there and figure out who you are, what you're supposed to be doing. You're going to uncover your traumas. In my spiritual awakening, it led me to go to therapy. When I started going to therapy and I started working and I went to the University of Me. At this stage, I got a PhD in me because I had to figure out who I was. And when I figured out who I was, that's where I found out, oh, this is what I truly am. This is who I truly am. This is what I truly like to do. This is where I want to go. So no longer could I pretend and just go to a job and then put tips on shoelaces no more. I can't do that no more. I have to do what I'm called to do. I have to do what I came here to do. And that's what the spiritual awakening will do to you. And then in and of itself, that's going to be kind of a hard journey to accept, because you're going to start finding out things about yourself that's like, wait a minute, damn, I'm really moving like that. Because, we got meat suit issues, all of us. We got traumas. We got, we got stuff, all of us. Everybody breathe. And if you breathe, you got a pulse, you got something that you need. We know that. Yeah, these are meat suit issues. When these meat suits come with certain defects, it come with all of us. It comes with defects. Within the defects, when you go into the defects and fix those, then you'll start figuring out who you are and your purpose. If you don't go inward, you can't really produce outward. You got to go inward. And that's what Dawn's talking about. That's what that spiritual awakening is going to take you. It's going to take you deep within yourself to come outside. There's a purpose for it too.
Yeah. And let me help you guys out with just one little thing while you're on your spiritual journey when it comes to purpose. Because one of the most common things that people always say, I just want to know what my purpose is. That's fine. We're all here to figure that out. We all collectively, as a human species, race, whatever you want to call us, we have one specific purpose. Okay? We each have individual purposes as we go through this thing called life, but we have one specific purpose. And if you got a piece of paper and a pen, please write this down. Okay? Your purpose is going to change as you change, okay? Sometimes your purpose in life in a certain chapter is to have children, nurture, and grow them, okay? Another time in your life is to just be a kid, have fun, and do crazy stuff. That's another purpose, right? But we put so much pressure on ourselves to find out what it is that we're supposed to meaningfully do in this life, right? One purpose. Everybody got it. Find that thing, those things that you love, that you are extremely passionate about, that you enjoy doing. That if you wake up every single day, that's all you want to do. Find that thing and go do it at 1,000%. Do it as far as you can take it. Do it as long as you can. Because that right there is purpose itself. What you're doing is you're literally consciously, intentionally raising your vibration and your frequency to be at the highest expression and version of yourself. That's what we are here to do. That is purpose. That may come in different forms. That may come in your career. That may come in your volunteering, your service work. That may come in raising your family. That may come in being a world traveler and exploring the world. Whatever it is that allows you to remain at your highest frequency, that is purpose. It's the details that we struggle with. One thing at a time. Find that thing. And I did a post several months ago, probably a year ago, that said, if you are lost and have no idea what to do next, go back and do something that you're good at. Go back and do something that you do effortless. Go back and do something that you are excited about doing, even if it's not what you want to do long term. It's not permanent. Just go back and do that. Because what you're doing is you're revving up your vibrational engine. You're revving it up. Because if you're in alignment with something that you like to do, that's something that's effortless, something that does bring you some sense of joy, guess what? It's only upward from here as you keep going, because everything else is magnetically going to fall into place. That's how this universe works. That is the law of attraction. I'm in alignment with being on my highest frequency possible. I may not know what my highest frequency is or which channel I want to be tuned into, but this is pretty good for right now. So let me keep rolling in this direction and allow those other great things to magnetically come to me, because I am a magnet for it. But we choose to get stuck. We choose to question. We choose to ponder. We choose to focus on what's not happening rather than what is and what can happen. It's about changing that channel.
Because we can't see it, we can't see the end result. And what we're used to doing in this 3D world is getting the result that we look for. And I need to see the road before I start. I need to know where I'm going. But in this journey, that's not how it works. You don't get the blueprint. You just have to trust the process. You got to trust the universe. You got to trust, and you have to move. you have to go. And as you go, it will appear. And it's going to take courage. It's going to take you to be courageous, to take steps that you probably would never take before. Someone told me, if you want something you never had, you got to do things you've never done. So if you want this to grow, you have to step outside of that comfort zone and say, well, hey, you know what? I don't know all the answers, but I do feel, and as Dawn's talking about your highest level, the highest frequency, I do feel that I am alive when I do this thing, or when I operate from this way, whatever that is, and whatever those gifts are, that you have, and I call them gifts because all of us are equipped with different gifts, and when you are operating in your gift, that you're operating in whatever that is, because it's so easy and it's so fluid to you. It comes to you like nothing, and you feel so great when you are doing that. And then once you figure that out and you move into that it's going to start coming to you more and more and more and more. But you got to keep going into it, and sometimes you got to break out of the norm of your job and the normal stuff in order to get to what Dawn is talking about.
Yeah. And make time for it. Here's the thing. And then I'm going to answer your question too, K Mama, because I think that's awesome. One of the things that I will say I would consider to be a pet peeve, and I don't have too many of them. One of the pet peeves that I have is when people say, I don't have time. And then I say, no, you don't make time. Because we all got the same 24 hours. We just do different things with them. So it's a matter of, what do you prioritize over what you feel you're obligated to do, what you're responsible for, what you want to do. And then the little in between BS time. When you want to get something accomplished, when you strive to reach something, you will make time. It's okay if you only get 5 hours of sleep. It's okay if you only get 4 hours of sleep. I sat here one night, I got 1.5 hours of sleep, then worked a 10-hour flight shift. Okay? The next day, I said, I'm going to sleep when I'm finished. I'll sleep, and I slept, baby. I slept, okay? But that thing needed to be done. It needed to be handled. I executed, and I said, there's no excuse. I'm going to push through it. I'm not saying do that all the time. I'm just saying you have to learn how to balance and prioritize what it is you want versus what everybody else tells you that you need to do. Okay, that's your choice. We got 24. Nobody gets no more, no less. I wanna touch on 2K Mama said, I heard a controversial phrase today. The universe is magnetic, not moral. And she wants to know our thoughts. I like that. Hello? Oh, he reading it.
Oh no, I'm looking for it. Wait, what is? Well, hold on. I hope you didn't.
So the universe is magnetic, not moral, and I could not agree more.
Oh, I see you. I see you. I heard a what's controversial about that? What do you mean by controversy? Is that Do we see that as controversy? I don't see that as because the
No,
universe is going to give you what you are. It's going to give you who you are. It's not going to bring morality into it, or it's just going to give you exactly who you are. It's going to reflect back to you who you are. So I don't know where the controversy comes into that. That's I guess I'm confused about that part. Um, but whatever you heard, wherever you heard that from, I mean, it's true. But I don't see it as, if we're thinking morality, we're thinking, right and wrong. And I think we're taught to be good. We're not taught energy. Okay. All right.
yeah, I
If
can see.
we're thinking, especially like, religious in our society teaches us, hey, like, you were talking about earlier, do this so that you can get to this happy place, but again, the universe is simply going to give you, it's going to give you what you are. And that's good, bad, ugly, whatever that is. It's going to just give you what you are.
I'm gonna pull this
But
up.
we're
He's
not
right.
taught energy.
It's gonna give you what you are because of these two things. Oh, that's super tiny. Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
can't see it.
energy or energetic vibration and frequency. Okay. Your energetic vibration is a subtle energy each person, thought, or thing resonates, reflecting their emotional, mental, and spiritual state. High vibrations resonate with love, joy, peace, and alignment. Low vibrations resonate with fear, anger, or heaviness. Your vibration is the tone your being emits into the universe. So, when we say the universe is magnetic, absolutely. Whatever it is that you are resonating, what you're putting out into the world, how you speak, your energy towards people, your energy towards your job, your energy towards your family, anything that you are feeling towards anyone. This is the law of correspondence. As within, so without. Whatever you are feeling, you are now going to experience and keep seeing outside of you, because that's what's going on within you. You go to a job you can't hate. You're going to keep going in there with the energy of not liking that job. And guess what? The universe is only going to give you more and more reasons not to like it. That's how it goes. It's a magnet. You are magnetic no matter what. Your frequency is the measurable rate or level of vibration, like the channel you're tuned into. Frequency determines the quality of your experiences and what you attract into your life. Higher frequencies align you with clarity, love, and expansion, while lower frequencies align you with limitation and struggle. So that's the channel you are tuned into. Okay, that's saying I'm going in with negative energy. Guess what? I'm tuned into a negative channel. So therefore, everything that I experience, the conversations, the people, all of that is going to be negative. If you shift, if you choose to pivot, whatever energies are coming your way, you say, you know what? I'm gonna choose to go in here and I'm gonna appreciate. I'm gonna be thankful that I have a job that covers my bills, that allows me to travel, that makes sure I have security, that keeps a roof over my head, and I'm able to feed my family. I'm gonna give gratitude to this job rather than go in and hate it. I got a puzzle piece.
Oh.
Boom.
I
I was on a little rampage and they give me a little puzzle piece.
Yeah.
But that is the difference. So your vibration, your energetic vibration, is how you are feeling inside. That is what you are doing as far as being a human being. Okay, anybody saying you got to go around here being happy-go-lucky? Okay, because that's emotion. That's different. But it's really just waking up and just being okay, just being good and moving as though you are good. Even, and not saying everything's perfect, but just saying, life is life. It's happening. Mm-hmm. But I'm not down in the dumps about it. I'm not gonna look at the world as though everything is falling apart, even though it looks that way. I'm not falling apart. And then that is the channel you're choosing to tune into. That is the it's like when you turn on a certain channel on your television or the radio, this is what I want to experience. If you are on a more positive frequency, I'm not saying the best. If you are on a more positive frequency, your interactions are going to be different. Your customer service experience is going to be different. Your relationships are going to be different. Not every single day, not in all ways, but pretty much your life is going to consist of pretty good energy coming back to you, because you are a magnetic being. You are source energy. It's only going to do this. It's only going to keep, it never stops. It never stops. But if you on that BS, expect more BS. That's just it. Walk into a room with a negative attitude, you're going to get people looking at you, and you're going to be like, oh, what you looking at? They looking at you because you came in here on some Debbie Downer stuff. You came in here with that frequency. People feel that without knowing that's what they're feeling. People know. You can't hide
it. They can feel your energy. There's I always say this, like I walk into rooms now and I don't absorb other people's energy. I it's a practice of mine to project my energy. I know what my energy is. It's the energy that Dawn was talking about: love, acceptance, kindness, happiness, joy. And so I try to walk into places and project that without absorbing everyone else's stuff if someone else has negative energy. But that frequency that you're talking about, Dawn, people being on their frequency, we have to make sure, we have to tune ourselves first in order to get the frequency. So if I'm harboring unforgiveness against people, my frequency is off. I'm not going to be resonating with the right level of things. If I'm harboring unforgiveness, or I have a lot of anger, or if I have, if I'm pissed off and mad all the time at everybody, If I have, Don mentioned pet peeves. There's people who have a whole litany of pet peeves. So, when you have a bunch of pet peeves, you really are expecting other people to just do what you want them to do. And so, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one of the things. So I teach an anger management class, and we talk about one of the things that gets people upset so much is when someone else doesn't meet the expectation that they think they're supposed to meet. It's like, well, no, that's your expectation. And if you getting upset because everybody don't meet your expectation, that's on you. You have to understand people are on different frequencies, as Dawn's talking about. So you have to keep your frequency tuned no matter what's happening to you. Dawn just mentioned you walk into a room and you turn on the TV and you want to watch a certain channel. You want to watch this certain channel, and then that channel is going to play no matter what's happening around you. That channel's not going to say, well, you know what, they didn't close the door, so I'm not gonna play the right channel. No. It's going to play no matter what's happening around you. That's what you have to be. Your frequency has to be solid no matter what's happening around you. And I like how you said this, Dawn. Life is still going life. First of all, it ain't about to stop because you go on this nice little happy frequency. It's gonna keep you. Your boss gonna be a jerk. Traffic's gonna be horrible. Money's gonna mess up sometime. Family's gonna do this. Relationship is gonna. But are you still able to keep your frequency? Are you still able to keep it, or does it get affected? Do you lose it every time something goes wrong? Now, the thing about that is that the more you learn to tune your frequency and hold your frequency, you learn, to stay in it in spite of what's going on. But that's a process, okay? So it's not something that once you start doing this, you're going to, no, it's a process. Because there's plenty of times, we first started doing this, you get knocked off your frequency. And I'm like, damn, why am I I'm all out of alignment right now. What the hell did I do? Okay, I'm arguing with this person about politics, or arguing with this person about this, or that's a real good one right now too. You start diving into all the stuff that's happening in the world, and then next thing you know, it's a race to the bottom. That's what it is. It's a race to the bottom. But learning to tune yourself and then hold that frequency is going to be a part of your journey.
It is a practice. And someone just asked, what's your morning practice, if any, to hold that before the day starts? For me, I practiced as soon as I woke up in the morning, being mindful of what my first thoughts would be. Okay. I'm not good at this yet, but I'm working on it. Don't touch the phone yet. But see, my phone doesn't influence me anymore. So it's like I built up enough spiritual stamina to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, I touched the phone. Like I said, I'm getting better. But what my morning practice was before I did anything was to meditate. And just be still for a minute. That is literally you setting the trajectory on where you wanted your frequency to be that day. Okay? It's tuning in and really asking, how do I feel? What's going on with me today? Okay, I'm feeling a little sad. Okay, what am I sad about? This isn't going the way I like. This is happening and that's happening. Okay, what can we do about it right now? Well, right now, I can't. Okay, how are we going to go out into the world feeling this? Are we going to give it to other people? Or are we going to know it's going to work itself out? There's certain ways that I learned or taught myself how to talk to myself and really tune in, because the relationship between you and you is the only, and it's at the top of the charts. This is the only permanent relationship you will ever have. And if you don't know how to speak with you about how you are doing, you're going to be floating through the world looking for other people to give a damn. And they don't. Not in the way that you prefer, but you take care of you first. And then you decide how you want to go out into the world and face it. I fill my cup up. What I like to do, I love soft mornings. I call them soft mornings. I may not have a soft life, but I like soft mornings. I wake up with no alarm clock. I do my meditation. I put my music on, I put on my jazz or whatever it is that's really, really good, tuning, calming, relaxing. And I go make my breakfast. I enjoy that morning, and I sit still. I drink my tea. I just sit with me. There's no rush. There's no anxiety. There's no, oh my gosh, I'm just got overwhelmed. That's where people get out of alignment with themselves. They don't have that morning routine. I don't care if that morning routine has to start at 3 a.m. It's had to start at 3 a.m. for me before. Shoot, it's had to start at 2 a.m. for me before. But I'm going to get that time in to get me in alignment before I go out here and face the world that is designed to deplete me. It's designed that way. And if you don't have yourself geared up, if you're not armored up spiritually, emotionally, mentally, you're going to lose every time. Every time.
It's designed to deplete me. Like she said, it's designed to deplete. Like it's not. This world is not ready. I mean, it's not going to be here for our to. If I'm waiting for the world or other people to make me feel better, that's going to be a problem. That's a short trip to a bad place. And like Don's talking about, waking up and setting the mode, setting the tone. When I used to play football, our coach used to say that as soon as you go out there, go set the tone. Go set the tone for how the rest of the game is going to go. Go set the tone. So when Don is talking about waking up and setting the tone for that day. And then here's the thing, when we were playing in the game and something would go wrong, our coach would yell out temporary setback. He said temporary setback, and all of us would have to say temporary setback. Why was he saying that? To remind us that this little thing that's happening right now is not permanent, and it's not going to derail us. We're still going to perform at a high level and get to where we need to be. So because you start to, like Don said, you start the morning off whatever time you started off, and then you go through this world, and then that doesn't mean, again, life's not going to life. Life is still going to life, but you have already set an intention from the moment you woke up. Like she said, you meditated, you had a good breakfast, or you did whatever you need to do, and then you decide what frequency you're going to walk through this world with. And I would ask people, what frequency, what energy do people get from you? When you walk through this world, what energy do people, what today, let's think about today, what energy did people get from you today that you encountered? And this ain't a quiz. It's just for you to think about what energy now, in order for you to answer that honestly, you have to have self-awareness and situational awareness. If I walk through this world and was mean to people and all, and then I just say, well, you know what, I did good today. Then my situational awareness is low, my self-awareness is low, and then other people are looking at me like, man, that dude crazy. He yelled at me, he flipped me off when, I didn't put my blinker on, he did this, he did that. My awareness, I have to be able to know what energy I'm bringing. Am I operating in those highest vibrations that Dawn talked about? She said love, gratitude, peace, kindness, compassion, empathy. Am I walking in those? Or am I walking in the lower vibrations? But it's something for us to think about. What energy am I projecting to this world, to people, to the universe? We should know that.
Yep, that's it. And like he said, it's self-awareness and situational awareness. It's okay. And this is Give Yourself Grace book chapter number 1. It's okay if you're not having a great day. If it's not the best day that you've had all week, it's okay for you to be at that low energy and still walk through life. It's okay. As long as you're not giving them that and saying, here, take it, because energy is contagious. It's transferable. It cannot be created nor can it be destroyed, but it can be transmuted. So if you don't have the highest energy that day for you, if you're not feeling your best, it's okay. Know it and navigate accordingly. Know that you have to go to work. If you got to pretend for a little while, fine. One of the things that just bringing your BS to places it doesn't belong, like work. Like places and spaces where people are uplifted and positive. Why are you bringing that to bring everybody else down? You know why? Because you don't want to hold on to it. You want everybody else to have it. You may not know that you're doing that. You may not be aware that you're doing that, but you're doing it. If you come to work and you got an attitude, that ain't got nothing to do with nobody else in the building. That's yours. But you want everybody else to experience it too. Because why? Misery loves company, but joy does too. Happiness does as well. We too busy focused on, well, I got this going on. That's selfish. If you were in a Christ consciousness mode, if you were really elevated within yourself, if you are really awakened to who you really are, you will know, you know what, I'm not feeling my best today, but I don't want anybody else to have this. So even if I gotta fake it for 8 hours at this job, I'm gonna do that because I don't
Can,
want anybody else to receive this.
can we stop there for a second? What she just said, I wanna. She said I may not be having the best day, but I don't want anyone else to have this. That level of awareness, that level of consciousness, that level of intention is very, very powerful. And I'm going to tell you this, and Don knows the same thing. We walk through this world and life is happening. But when you get to a certain level in this journey, you are careful to try to make sure that you don't spill your mess onto other people. Like it is a conscious effort. Now, of course, since we do like I said, we have Me Too, protocol. Every now and then it's going to happen, but even when it does happen, you are quick to apologize, own your stuff, and say, "Look, that was me. I messed up. I'm sorry about that." But we become aware of the energy that we bring, the frequency that we bring, and if I'm on a low day and I wake up and I'll check, I'm like, man, I ain't feeling good today. But just like Don said, I'm not gonna give this to anybody else. This is just me. Matter of fact, I'm not even so focused on. I'm focused on if I'm feeling like a 2 out of 10. I'm focused on how to get to a 4. What do I need to do to get to a 4 today? If that's all I'm gonna get to today, I'm gonna get that damn 4, and I'm gonna be okay with that 4. My goal is to try to get to a higher frequency. It's not that I'm gonna stay there. Sometimes I could stay there, but like Don said, it's really important for us to recognize I don't want to give this to anybody else because pain transfers. You know what they say? Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. So when you see people, as Don was talking about that person in the office, I had a flashback to somebody in my office, when I was at work, and I was just like, I had the ability to see this person is in pain. It's like you come in here acting a fool, and it's like, oh, so you actually hurt. You emotionally hurt. So I didn't take it personal, but some other people in the office took it personal, and I'm like, yeah, they going through something because that
Yeah.
ain't normal. That ain't normal. Like you don't walk in here acting like that. Like you over here cutting up at you don't come to the playground acting a fool. Everybody playing over here. We having a good time. Like you can come in here and do that same thing too. But people, like she said, people will come in and I'll say this last thing and land this plane. You have to be careful with your energy to make sure it doesn't get hijacked by other people's energy.
I was getting to that next.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you go. I ain't gonna steal your thunder on it, but I want to make sure that that's real because
I'm
people
gonna say
will.
this, yeah, I'm gonna say this case in point. Like after my father passed away, people were asking me, like I was going to work, and mind you, I'm usually the lead flight attendant, and I've got to be, hey, y'all, let's go, let's get it. And when I would sit there and have a conversation with coworkers, or a random passenger, we'd start a conversation, and they're like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, this is like my first week back, my second week back." I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, my dad passed away." They were like, "Oh my gosh," and I'm like, "Yeah, life still keeps trucking, but I'm not bringing all of that into this space." That's not here. That's not what I'm being paid for. My grief is for me at home. What I'm doing here is being the light that I am and sharing that with you guys. And when I go into my hotel or when I get home, I experience my grief there. It's not for everybody. I'm not here to be on no pity party. I'm not here, oh, feel bad for me. What? No, that's not what we're here. That's not my job. That's not my assignment. That's not my purpose. I understand what it is I'm supposed to do in this space, and therefore I'm going to get it done. It's nobody else's business what I'm going through on those darker levels. That's my work. Nobody else's assignment. And when you are aware of your energy and you see who's coming into the room with that BS, you be like, okay. Go ahead, do your thing, because they're trying to take yours as they're giving you theirs. They don't want that misery. Their body it's actually rejecting it And so it has to come out. It has to. You ever notice when you get really, really pissed, when you get really, really angry, you just want to scream. All that's energy in motion, also known as emotions. Those are things that are stored up in us, and when they don't belong within us, they have to come out in some kind of way. That's why when you get mad, some people hit something, you got to get that energy out. That's the same with everybody else. They have to get that energy out because it has to now transform and transmute to someone, and they have to give it to somebody else. But what you do is you know what that is. And when you become a fierce protector of your energy, and when you know that your vessel, your body is a transmuter, you take that energy. And when I just said, okay, I now am going to reciprocate that with love energy, with positive energy, with optimistic energy. I just gave you that energy right back, but in a different form. You don't even recognize it. You tried to give it to me. I didn't reject it. I received it and moved it accordingly within myself and gave it right back and spewed it right back out into the world in the way that I know it should be given back. Because that right there, my loves, that right there is what we are here to do. And that is what me and Dom are here doing. We're teaching you the basics of how we are changing this world, the vibration and the energy of this world. We can do it. We can look at all the bad, all the nonsense, all the BS that's going on. But what we're doing is showing you how to build up that energetic and that spiritual stamina. That's how you do it. You look at it and say, okay, I'm going to choose to go out here and do great work. I'm going to choose to go out here and give loving energy. I'm going to choose to go out here and be of service and help people. I'm going to choose to do the right thing. And that is just be a good person. You don't have to match that other energy. You don't have to do those things that everybody else is doing. That's not what we're here for. We're here to raise the frequency. We're here to be our best. We're here to get to that high vibrational frequency and do this thing called life in a major way. I'm seeing so much.
You know what? You when you say that, the matching the energy, I find it, for me personally, I'm disrespecting myself when I match someone else's negative energy. I will only match your positive energy. Like I have to, that's my goal. If I'm matching somebody else's negative energy, I lost. I lost. I allowed them to hijack who I am. They took over my frequency. I was on, 91.7, and then after them, I'm on 52.4. I allowed them to take me down, and that's why I say I allowed them, because you don't get to change my energy unless I approve of it. When I approve of it, I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna match your energy. Oh, you wanna race to the bottom? Okay, but that for me is we disrespect ourselves when we allow other people to take us from the place of peace, love, kindness, empathy, joy, compassion that we live in. Like nobody should be able to do that. And do people affect you? Absolutely. Do they bring you circumstances? Absolutely. But just like just like Dawn just said, when she looked at them, she's like, okay, I hear you. Okay, let me go ahead. I'm gonna take what you said. I'm gonna transmute that. I'm gonna alchemize that. And I'm gonna bring it back to you, and I'm gonna send you love. My mom used to say that, kill them with kindness. Kill them with kindness. Just throw it back at them with kindness. Like I don't have to throw negative, because here's the thing that I see. In the anger management class I teach, I tell people this. I said, when you see somebody that's pissed off, or they're really pissed and upset, I want you to stop seeing them as angry and see them as hurt. Don't look at them as angry. Look at them as hurt. Don't see, they got an attitude. They're hurt. I want you to see them for really who they are. They're hurting right now. Yes. It's not we only look at the reaction and say, because if you looked at someone who has cancer and they're upset, or they're not really, their energy is low. It's like, you look at them like, what's wrong with you? Well, but do you know what's happening inside of them? If you understood that what's happening inside of them is that they're truly hurt. Now, the hurt may not have, chances are the hurt ain't got nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. But if you can see them that way, and that's looking at them through the lens of compassion and love, and saying, man, and sometimes it's something that you can help with. Sometimes your compassion is simply you just saying, you know what, okay, I listened to you rant for a second. Okay, I'm going to head out. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is, but just being able to see past someone's behavior and looking at what's actually happening behind the scenes sometimes will help us in maintaining our own frequency and then being able to transfer, because while we talk about someone else negatively transferring energy to us, we can also transfer our energy to other people. I'm gonna tell you, I walk into plenty of rooms and I'm like, here you go. What's that thing with Oprah? You get a good energy. I'm throwing it everywhere. Here you go. You getting some love. You about to get. You going. Yeah, everybody can get. You gonna get this love. You gonna get this good. When you walk away, you're going to remember how you felt from this interaction. You're going to remember, like, man, that damn, Dawn, that damn Dominique, D'Angelo, whoever that was. Man, you know what? That was actually, man, I'm glad I talked to them today. I'm glad I talked to that person today. I'm glad I said something to that person today. Or they'll be like, man, I was really mean to that person today. I shouldn't even say nothing because Dawn looked at me with a smile. I said something mean to her. She said, okay. And then she said, I hope everything is well, blah, blah, blah. And she gave me a piece of candy, and she gave me a piece of candy. You're going to
I
walk
love
away with
when that
that.
happens.
You're going to walk away with that.
I
Don't
love
forget.
when that happens. Would they be like, wait a minute, I just treated you like, yeah, because you don't really matter in this equation. My energy does. So and you know what? This just came to me too. That's where that, remember we talked about it being a spiritual snob kicked in when that you go through that phase. That's where that little portion of you kicks in. It's just like, I'm good. No, don't worry about it. And that's really what you have to do. You have to literally say, you're not getting ready to overshadow me with your shadow. That's not what we're about to do, honey. And I'm not gonna take you home with me. Not gonna take you home. I want to bring some people up. If you want to come up and give us some feedback, ask questions, do whatever, please go ahead and hit that request button because we want to interact. D'Angelo, definitely want you to come up, boo. Because we got some other things to talk about. But explain the spiritual snob.
Spiritual snob.
A spiritual snob is a phase that we go ahead and we named it. So it's when you've done the work, you've gone through the process. Basically, it's almost like you've gone through an awakening that really you just feel like you just are on it. You're in alignment with yourself. You got all this knowledge and wisdom and all this, and you just walking through life like you're untouchable, right? You just know, right? And you start judging people. You start looking down at them because they don't know what you know. They haven't gone through what you've gone through. They haven't experienced all of the beautiful spiritual experiences and encounters that you've had on that level. You really start to think you have this superiority over them spiritually. And then, I mean, it's you think this, but it's really, when you look back, it's not attractive. It's really not attractive. But what life does, again, it puts you through it again. And it humbles you some more because it is a portion of the ego that's still lingering in there that has control. Once again, we need our ego. Okay. I had the definition up a second ago. I'll put it up. But we need our ego, but it's just a matter of maintaining and managing it and not letting it lead, not letting it have full creative control, because the goal in all of this is to be balanced within the higher self and the ego and the shadow and the your soul purpose. All of these things have to be in alignment, and you have to learn how to love and embody them all. And that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. But when you get to that little phase of feeling like you better than everybody because you've awakened and you've done all that, you'll see some people that do that. You be like,
you hear him talking all the time. I see him here. I hear him talking, and when what Dawn's talking about is that when you get to a place of your journey, and then you're looking at other people and you're saying, well, look at them. They don't even, they're not awakened. You're looking at people who are not on the journey and you have judgment towards them, forgetting that you were once there. It's the thing when somebody go to church and now they say, and then they 2 weeks out the club. Now they're like, y'all really going to the club? That's the energy of being spiritually. I'm telling you, the ego is really, really sneaky. and it jumps into places that you would never even think, and that's one of them, even in the spiritual world. But your spiritual journey should bring you to a place of humility all the time, because you never too far from your lowest self. Like, you never too far from the low vibrations of this meat suit. When I talked about going into the depths of you, your lowest self. I just posted a video on this on my Instagram talking about, have you been to the bottom of yourself? When you have been to the bottom of yourself, you know how low you can be, or you can go. And so when you know how low you can be, you understand people who are down, are down there. You're like, oh, okay, I got you. I see you, and hopefully I can help you get to a better place. If not, you know what? I accept you where you are, whatever that is. But that ego is no joke. It's no joke. I need to leave at 9:30, so I got 2 minutes. I just want to put that out there.
Okay.
But
All right.
can you read alignment? I want to hear that. I want to hear that. I want to hear your alignment.
Oh, alignment. Hold on. Let me pull it up so I can read it properly. To be aligned and in alignment. Living in harmony with your soul, your values, and truth. Alignment means your thoughts, emotions, actions, and energy are all moving in the same direction towards authenticity and purpose. That A word is my favorite word, authenticity, because that is what we are trying to reach, shall we not?
And authenticity is truth. Authenticity is truth. It's just truth. It's in alignment, being in alignment with your values and your truth. In your journey, this is what we're striving to do, against the wishes of our meat suits, against the desires of ourselves, against, what we want, or what our ego wants. We strive to be in a place of alignment. And that's again, walking the walk, talking the talk, being the talk. Like, that's what alignment is. And then not allowing life to knock you off of that. And because you know when you're out of alignment, because when you start getting into alignment, you know when you are out of alignment. Everybody knows that when you're on this journey. But
does anybody want to come up real quick? Dom has to get up out of here. I'll be up here for a few more minutes. And somebody says opinions on the 369. Are you talking about the 369 manifestation method, Nikola Tesla? Or different line of thought. Our YouTube channel is up. Our Instagram is up. Please go follow us, The Awakened Man, The Awakened Woman. I'm actually right now putting the link in there and trying to substitute it from what's already up on my page. But you can easily, if you're not following Dom, if you're over here with me, please follow him. If you're over there, please follow me.
Absolutely.
We'll our collaboration. Once again, we are shifting from this platform to YouTube as well as Instagram, because the state of the TikTok, we don't know. We're not even going to give it all that energy. But please go ahead and follow us. Go ahead and just stay tuned with us, because we got a whole lot of things in motion.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna get going. Y'all take care. D'Angelo stepping up right now. I'll be in contact with you, Dawn. Okay.
All right. Blessings.
Okay.
Be well.
Okay. Thank you.
D'Angelo.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well. How about yourself?
All right. Yeah. So I had one thought based on what you guys were saying. So there was a comment about 20 minutes back that you were saying about being aligned with your purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I noticed, and I believe I did go through a spiritual awakening, coming out of on the other end, one thing I noticed, like, for example, prior to that, I was so, corporate, promote, get higher income, grow professionally, right? And then when I came out of the other side, I had like no interest in that. Like, I was the guy who would work later after work, even when I didn't have to, always wanted to check my phone, see what was going on, and work on the next day before the next day happened. All for this whole, be a part of that machine, thinking of, okay, I gotta stay with that, right? But after all of that, I'm going through the spiritual awakening, like, none of that matters. Like I'm always like, okay, when it hits 5, I'm done. It's all about me and my life. So speed things up. I'm kind of in transition right now. I was laid off from my last employment. I was there for 7 years. And now I'm in a different mindset that I've never been in. I'm looking for new opportunity. But at the same time, I want it really to match the purpose for me, which is educating, supporting, and inspiring people. And I have this opportunity right now that it's not in the salary range that I want it to be in, that I really prefer to be. I know my value, what I'm worth, you know, but it's not, it's not there. And the job is more in line with my purpose in life for the second act. Educating, supporting, inspiring, training, and all of this. But the salary doesn't match. And so now I'm sitting here perplexed in my head with purpose
Or
and
bank account.
finances.
Yeah.
What's
That's
your
that's
thought?
that's the spot. That's the spot. What is your soul calling you to do?
My soul is calling me to, like, I'm having the third interview tomorrow. This is like the final interview. I think I have a pretty good shot at probably getting it anyway. And I think they want me. My soul is saying try to figure out how to budget to make it work, because I think I'll be happier day to day doing that role than I would actually like a very corporate environment right now. That's what my first instinct is.
Okay. So
But
when it comes to alignment with purpose and divine assignment, your needs will always be met. That is law. What you need will always be met. It's our wants that we add up and line up and think are take priority. Okay. When you are in alignment with your divine assignment and where you are supposed to be, the money might not look cute. When I became a flight attendant, that money was not cute compared to what I'm used to making in the salon. It doesn't compare compared to the work that I'm doing. But I knew I'm supposed to be here right now. It unfolded effortlessly and was in alignment with what I'm understanding and understanding as far as what my purpose is right now in this space. We talked about that, right? Travel, getting out of Vegas, being able to come and go and have all these benefits, right? No, the money's not great, but I'm focused on fulfillment. But also, you have other avenues of income that you also can be working on at the same time. But right now, purpose should take priority, even though you have other priorities when it comes to mortgages, bills, and all those things. So, yes, exactly. I was about to say that the money will come as long as you remain in alignment with your assignment. That's what we get distracted by. We think, oh my gosh, how is it going to happen? You're asking the wrong question. I'm excited for when this does happen. I'm excited for this new venture that's going to lead to even more things. I'm excited for the work that I get to do finally. I'm excited that I won't be involved with the hustle and bustle like I used to be. And I have more purpose-driven work that I'm doing that's going to fill me up. I'm going to show up as a better husband. I'm going to show up as a better father. I'm going to show up as a better man. I'm going to be a better me because of this. Which is more important, that or having the money?
right, obviously for me now, it's more important. That's why there's a tug of war psychologically with me chasing the money. Well, hey, at the same time, I know my value. I could be making a lot more money. And obviously, I hear what you're saying. I think it still boils down, unfortunately, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's still like we're still forced sometimes in this life we live to have to make a financial decision when you know you have these things that you're responsible for, mortgage, school loan, all that. So you still need, like, I got to go do the math and see how the math works out so I can make it in a way that I can
Manageable.
You follow what I'm saying? And it's
Absolutely.
unfortunate that if I were to go do all of that, and that's why I was asking, if I were to go do all that and still have to go, well, dang, the math ain't mathing, and now I can't. I can't pursue my purpose.
I jump in there with a saying. Love listening to D'Angelo. Dawn, thank you for ringing me up. I appreciate it. Love listening to both of you chatting earlier there. You vibe very well actually off each other. You're like the one person talking at the same time nearly. For context, I'm in Ireland in my 40s. Yeah, I feel where you're at, D'Angelo. It's like you're in that in between, and there's a saying, I don't know if you have it there, mind the gap. And you're in the gap. You visualized, you know where you're. I'm assuming now too, probably for 90% of it, just from what I've heard from you. But you visualize what you want now. You have your purpose, and you're looking forward to what you want, what you actually want true in your heart. And it can get frustrating when that point from A to B, and that's where that saying comes from, is mind the gap. And you can get disheartened and frustrated, but you just got to stick with it. You got to trust. Yeah. It's not our job to figure out how it happens. We visualize it, we feel it. And that's actually, Dawn, I was coming back to when I said the 369 thing in the comments, like, you know, it's thought with feeling, and action is the 9. And you're there, you're on the path. You just got to, don't give up on it. It is there. It is there, but it's not your job to figure out how it's going to happen.
Yeah. Exactly. Shane, I love that you said that, because it is that space, and you said
and
don't.
That's huge. That's huge faith.
It's huge. That it's eliminating what you're going through right now is learning trust in something that is bigger than you. It is trust that it's always going to work out. What you're doing now is learning and practicing how to remove worry, doubt, and fear out of your equation. It's surrender. It's allowing. It's making sure, okay, I'm going to a higher frequency, because these words, these things that we carry weigh us down. They weigh us.
You can't just jump straight into another frequency. There is a transition. If you think of any other thing in the 3D life, it doesn't just instantly happen. You know, you want a lovely house for your family and so on. It takes a while to build it. You know, you want the best for your kids doing sports. It takes a while to train them and get them good to that point. It's the same thing. It takes a bit of time, but it always happens.
Yeah.
If your visualization and your feeling and want for that is strong enough, it is there. You just got to release. The more you let go,
I got
goosebumps
thinking about it, because there's so many things. Like Shane said, you gotta let go. Yeah. There's so many things.
And don't go thinking too deep. Really, that's just what we said in the last couple of minutes. Is pretty much sums it up. So you don't have to go, deep diving down rabbit holes. That pretty much is it. If you only take that alone and just think about that much the last few minutes.
Yeah, relax in it. Meditate.
You got the hardest part done. All that hard thinking, all them long nights, all them days where you weren't even watching what you're doing at work. You already put the work in. It's easy now. You have it. You have it.
I love that. Shane, did you have anything else to add? I appreciate you for joining in all the way from Ireland.
No, to be honest, I wouldn't usually have jumped up. I was really enjoying both of you there. I was nodding away.
Okay.
When I should have been tapping the screen, I was nodding, and I was nodding, going yes, yes, yes. No, you're great. Love the life. I jumped up to fill a box to get things moving. If you're bringing more people in, really just for support.
Yes. What time is it in Ireland?
It is 2:41 now at the minute a.m.
All right, D'Angelo, did that help some? I mean, because my only recommendation as a practice is when you're meditating, just keep affirming. I know I'm taken care of. I know it's gonna work out. It's a process, step by step. Because like I said before, when you're in motion, remember what I said, when you're doing things that you love to do, it's a stepping stone for something else to fall into place. There could be more offers. There could be speaking. There could be more teaching. There could be other things that are going to elevate you in this line of work compared to what you were doing before, that you're no longer passionate about, that you're no longer in alignment with. Now you are getting more into alignment, and more things are going to come to you. It's also a matter of revisiting your finances and saying, you know what can we do without right now? What can we do without? because we don't need this, we don't have to do this, we don't have to do that. But it also allows you to realize how much money you don't need to enjoy life. That's another thing. Money's finite, but people don't understand that currency is an energy. And we're going into a phase of human existence now where our currency is our energy. So the more of your authentic energy that you're putting out into the world, the more you're going to be receiving back. I got goosebumps just thinking about it.
It's the only one true energy, really.
Exactly.
Or it's the only one true, it's not about money. Energy is the currency.
It is the currency. And the more you are in alignment with what it is that your soul is calling you to do, honey, I'm telling you, your bills are paid. And I want you to keep saying it. My bills are paid. My expenses are covered. My bank account is in overflow. My investments are growing. My returns are increasing. You keep speaking those words. Even if it's not physically true today, it is what you are aligning with in your now for it to unfold in your future. That is how this works. That is what you're asking for.
You got your shit together. You have you're paying your bills right now, physically, with the monetary system in our present. What you've imagined in the future, that's your own investment in yourself. Mm-hmm. It's a different kind of currency. It's energy, and you're investing. That's like going, crypto or something like, you can put it whatever way you want. Your time and your energy and your focus, you're putting into yourself and your family, and you will get a return on it.
It's lost.
But the one thing, and I will from personal experience, I'll just say, it does get to a point where, can you remember, did you have a moment where you, whether over time or suddenly, you just visualize this amazing life ahead of you? Did you have that moment through all the hard thinking? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then it comes around and it's not happening, or you're coming across stickier moments and you kind of lose sight of that, or you go, oh, well, that was a load of rubbish. That's the moment you got to have faith in sticking with it. You got to remember the feeling, that first time that you had that awakening moment where you thought, yeah, I can see it. I can see me and my family, and we're there and we're doing all this. It's not the thought, it's the feeling. Remember how you felt. Mm-hmm. Don't ever forget that feeling, because if you lose that, you got to keep the feeling, okay? You'll think about it the odd time during the day, but you got to remember the feeling as well.
Yes. That's that. Remember what I talked about, the law of correspondence, what you're resonating on an internal level. It's not, like he said, it's not just so much what you're thinking, because we can think it all day. We can verbalize it, we can affirm it verbally, all that. But it's the universe is only going to bring to you what it is you are feeling, what you are in alignment with. And right now, it's excitement for the new. It's excitement for the alignment itself. It's excitement for all of the lives you're going to touch, all of the teaching, all of the expression you get to express. It's all of the you getting to just be you on your terms. It's a wonderful thing. And yes, that doubt, that worry, that fear, that insecurity, it's going to creep in. But you go in and you go get it and say, no, we're going to do this. No, this is where I'm supposed to be. No, we're going to grow through this. No, I may not know this right now, but I'm going to learn it. It's really, you really just start talking trash to that saboteur part of you that comes in and tries to steer you away or tries to discourage you from remaining in alignment with what you want. And you start cheerleading at that. Like, nope, I'm going to get it and you're going to be mad and I don't care. It's all of that. It is your inner work. And when you have
you can do that. You can equate it to stuff like,
yeah, when you have those moments.
I know, D'Angela, have you played football or have you done things like that? You can equate it to things you've done in life and you go, no, I got the ball. I'm going to mow through this guy. Yeah. I'm not going to pass it to another guy. You can equate it in so many ways that make sense to you.
Because the game is not over. It's not over. Sometimes I might be a couple points down, but there's always a comeback. There's always a comeback. And as long as you keep encouraging you, as long as you stay getting encouraged by your circle, you can't fail. Nobody's going to let you fail, first of all. But you got to do this for you 1000%, because guess what? It's what you're supposed to be doing. Remember we said you are exactly where you are supposed to be.
That's a nice one, Dawn, actually, is when you were saying there about you know, the game isn't over and you just don't know. Like you start, you know, any game, be it whatever you're into, basketball, football, whatever it might be, there is a time limit on the game. You get a half time. You know, you're all out there wanting to win, but you got to put in the time to find out.
Yeah. Got to put in the training. You're right on time. You're right on time. Unfortunately, we gotta create a stronger deaf ear to society and what everybody else thinks you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. You are so many light years ahead of some people who will never do it.
Well, like you guys were saying, you know, I went through all these things you talked about, even the ego, with what I've learned about myself. I went through that stage. And also, I mean, but, you know, like you said, you know, it's still a process, this spiritual awakening. It's still a process. And as you can see with the turmoil you guys just helped me work through in my brain, it makes a lot of sense because, you know, I'm operating in fear when I go, okay, well, you know, right now, yeah, all my finances are taken care of. Oh, where am I going to get this loss of income that I'm about to lose when I know I'm capable if I go back to the machine? You know what I'm saying? You know, I could be making this much, right? But I'm not going to be happy making that much because that much comes with a lot more responsibility.
Yeah, but you know what that is straight off? That's belief in yourself, which is a huge building block.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know you can. Like you've already figured out the avenues, you know?
You've got it, D'Angelo. It's just is as you and here's something that I also want you to understand and understand if you can. It's never remember, huh?
Caroline might want to go up too.
Oh, did she tell her send a request if she wants to come up? You remember what Dom said about death to comfortability?
Death to comfort. No.
It's about no longer looking for comfort in anything. Because your work is never going to be done, because there will always be more and more asked of you and I like to say gifted through you, you're never going to feel what is considered in most people's eyes as satisfaction, if that makes sense. There is no such thing as satisfaction. Now, what you learn how to do is be grateful with what's happening and what you have now, and be content enough to find the joy in that. Because if you get to a point where you say, if today was it, if this is all I get to live, I'm good. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. That's where I want to get to because the things that I used to get satisfaction out of, I no longer get satisfaction, like chasing promotion.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, be brutally honest with yourself today. If tomorrow did not come for you, would you be okay with life as it is?
No.
Okay. That's where you need to grow. Okay. And I hope I can break this down. This is where you are getting into alignment by doing work that you love, that's in alignment with your soul purpose, right? Having an income, it may not be the greatest income that you want, but you have an income. That is what needs to be affirmed all the time. It's not saying I don't have enough. It's not happening. You want to affirm, I'm grateful for this income. I'm grateful that it can cover my expenses. I'm grateful that I'm able to do certain things with this money, whatever it is, however you want to affirm it, rather than going into a lack mentality. Okay. Then it's a matter of how you're using your free time. Are you creating balance, not only working on outside projects that are in alignment with your soul purpose, but are you also spending quality time with your family and loved ones and your friends?
Right.
Those are the combinations. So it's like we can get so stuck in work mode. We can get so stuck in purpose mode. We forget those relationships matter too. So it's a matter of spreading yourself out in a quality way, not thin, but in a quality way. Whereas if tomorrow doesn't come, I was in motion. I did it.
Right.
No
I
stones
did
were
do
left
that.
unturned.
I did do that because, like, that was one of my new, purposes in life, to spend more time with family, to travel more. So that stuff happened a couple of years ago. I have been doing that.
Good.
Like even this
That's what I
year,
was going to ask D'Angelo. Just like, at what point do you feel you're at?
I guess I'm at the point of having an income, having the type of career now that is more conducive to the lifestyle that I want to live. That's why I'm in the travel business as well, because it allows me the flexibility to work anywhere. And I've been already making the transition and spending more time with people and traveling more, all that. So now it's the job. It's getting the job right, so I don't have that extra added stress. And it's more in the purpose of what I want to do, which is support, educate, and inspire people.
Yeah, you're a good few steps along the path you want to go. Like,
yeah, he's there.
So do you feel stuck? Do you feel stuck at this point for any reason?
I don't feel stuck, but like I just shared with you, having to make a decision right now, like, I know I could be, for example, making over six figures based on what I bring to the table and what I've produced in the past, right?
But that changes the balance of what you want.
Exactly. So do I go for that and pass up an opportunity that's more in line with my purpose? That's $20,000
Well,
less.
that's only a decision you can make based on, a lot of things, your family and age as a kids and so on. And, can you do that maybe for a few years, go in hard, work hard, make money, and then step out of the system a little bit, or whether you want to get your balance in now, So all you can do is get all the information you can and make the best decision as you can for your family.
I think he's doing that. I think he made the exact right decision. I think there's parts of him that still goes back and forth. That's that ego and higher self that's saying, okay, I know I need this, but you're being pulled to do the work that's in alignment with your soul calling.
But that's the trap that everyone falls into. Like, you do the work and then, and then I said, that's the trap in between that everyone falls into. You do all the work and then you expect it, well, I've done the work. I've sat and I've thought and I've spent hours and weeks and years even maybe, and it should be here now. And then you're in that limbo. That can happen too.
Yeah. Once he finds his flow, I think once you find your flow within the new job, I think you'll be great.
Sounds like it's flowing well, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm saying within the job. I think once he, and he'll find.
If I get the job, that's tomorrow.
It's already done.
I'm talking like I have the job, but I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm going to do my best, but it's like, I kind of look like if it's mine, it's mine. I'm not like, oh, I need this. Because that's going to help me answer the question too. I believe if it's mine, period.
Yeah, it's already done, especially if it's been flowing. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. If not, then the next greatest thing is coming for you, or something better is always coming for you. But what you are doing, like I said, is creating the life you want to live. And like I said, it's not going to feel like complete satisfaction. I don't think there is a such word as complete or existence of complete satisfaction. I think because we're always going to have more to do, more to create, more to build, more to connect. It's always gonna be okay. I'm good, but can you be good right here? Can you be good right here? Can you have gratitude? Can you be accepting? If this was it, like I said, I hate to go dark on it, but if this was it. And for me, I got to a space of, if this was it, I did it. I did everything I could because I was still in motion in the direction in which I believe that I'm supposed to be going at. I wasn't stressed out. I wasn't hating this job. I wasn't hating this relationship. I wasn't questioning everything in life is on a nice frequency. It's like,
okay. But I think, Dawn, we're led to believe that we have to be happy. We have to aim for happiness. You don't. You just got to aim for the middle. You just got to be at peace.
Sweet.
Well, let me rephrase that.
You just gotta, just gotta be at peace in the middle, and then you will get your happiness every now and then, and you will get your little down times. But as long as you can be bang on the middle all the time, if you can find that peace, you'll be able to take on the low times and the happy times and respect them.
What'd you say,
I can
D'Angelo?
rephrase that. I can rephrase that. Then I didn't understand it the way you explained it. I could be happy because at this time in my second act, I'm living mentally the life that I really want to live. I feel like I'm the real person that I was supposed to be in my first act. So yes, in that sense, yes, I'd be totally fine. But what I was saying I wouldn't be happy was more based on no, there's still stuff I want to see first.
Yeah.
I want to go to Egypt. I want to go to Africa. And then I'll be cool.
Yeah, there's an endless list. And the thing about it is, and this is what I coach and what I teach, happiness is an emotion, just like sadness, all the other emotions. It comes and it goes. The true goal I believe people should have is fulfillment. Is fulfillment. Are you fulfilled? Because if you're fulfilled, there's no voids. There's no emptiness. There's no lack. You are to a space of as close as complete as can be. I'm fulfilled. You're like, are you whole? Because when you're whole for yourself, you're
fulfilled in my
and
life.
more,
Yes.
and more, and you're open to welcoming more.
Especially professionally. And I think that's the great thing, John, is that because I'm fulfilled professionally and there's nothing else I really want, I'm so focused on my personal life and spiritual journey. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, because that's what needs your attention. And see, I know I had a similar chapter of life, I like to say, where I went through that, where it was me and all personal because I worked like crazy. And then I put the skids on that. And then it became about my relationships. And it became about nurturing, healing a lot of them. Remember, I talked about that last week. Healing a lot of them, getting through that, because see, we go through, I mean, this too is a dark night of the soul when it comes to your relationships, and you're breaking them down and really getting to what it is, where we went wrong, where were we misunderstood, where do we love, how can we move forward. And when you get to that point, after that, you're just nurturing. I'm in nurturing mode now. So all I do is nurture my friendships, nurture my family ships, all of that. I told you before, the only way I was able to let my father transition in my heart space was out of forgiveness and having those conversations that he could comprehend, because the dementia after a while got to him. But it was a lot of my internal work at that time that I had to do, because guess what? I was not going to live the rest of my life with him transitioning and not having that happy time in the end that we had.
But you had time to speak. You spoke with him directly, did you? It wasn't just forgiveness on your side.
Well, that too, but after it was, the dementia was so far, it was like we could but what I'm saying, when it came to me doing that work on my side, on my end, that allowed me to show up when I saw him in a very loving, happy, upbeat I mean, we cracked jokes with each other all day. It was always high energy when he saw me. So that was my work that I did and that I presented in that space. And that way, the end of our physical relationship became something that I look back on and say, that was a beautiful time. Our
was
relationship
focusing on the positive, you could have gone the other way and focused on the negative, but it was just purely focusing on the positive and healing both of you at the same time.
Yeah. So now the relationship that I had dreamed about him last night, we're always in, I have the psychic dreams and stuff, but it's just a matter of we communicate and I sift through and I hear him in things that he probably was not aware enough to speak when he was live, going through his traumas, going through his things. So it's not like, oh, he's frolicking.
Yeah, but that's a huge understanding for you.
Yeah.
And people that know you live lives from everyone's perspectives. They're all their lives, if you get totally deep into it, and you can see another person's life and their perspective. And it's a lot of work, but it does help.
Yeah. Greatly, and it's very healing. You know, when people say, "Oh, I'm sorry for your loss," I'm like, "Oh, he's good." You know, not only was it his time, but I allowed him to go with love. It wasn't like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
is terrible." Like, no, I prefer, with him being so sick, I prefer him over there than over here, because that
But it
wasn't
wasn't
linked.
false. It was a joint love, and it was true and authentic.
Authentic, honey.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
So, is there anything else, D'Angelo, that you would like to speak about before I wrap this?
No, I don't want to hog the platform. You guys were great. Don, you was great. Shane, you just came out of nowhere. Do you
He
know her?
did.
Do you know
Yeah,
her?
I know. I
You
came out of
know her?
nowhere just to fill a box, and I think I was hogging the live more than anyone.
No,
But I'm
I
Irish,
got
so
you.
I can kind of get away with it because I'm Irish.
I love
Just
Came
one
out
other
of
thing I was
nowhere.
going to add, D'Angelo, was the fact that, you know, from I think from a man's point of view too, like from what I gather as an assumption, you know, you're securing a job, married with kids, so and you're a pretty aware, open person. So I think you can only look towards I'm not even looking for an answer. I'm just thinking out loud. I know with a lot of people, they have to go so far into their past for past issues and traumas and things to work out before they get to that point. You may have and probably have done, but
I already saw that.
where you are right now, and from the moment you've jumped up in the box, all I can see from what you're saying is the impression I get is all you're looking at is the future, and that is the present and the future, and that is an amazing place to be.
Yep. Yep. That's about it. I did everything that Kingdom did in terms of therapy and all of that. I went through all those stages and came out the other
Yeah.
end. I did what Neo did, and I took the pill, and here I am. But I'm still, I guess, there's still some things I'm fighting with. And that's why we just had this conversation,
Well, look, that's just it. I mean, you know, you get talking to like-minded people. It's about perspectives. One tiny little thing out of a conversation, the small. And I've always said it. Doesn't matter who you talk to, whether it's 2 minutes on the street talking to a stranger, whether you're in the bar talking to some old drunk guy. You're always going to, if you're open-minded, you will gain. We've all lived our own lives, so you will gain it's all about perspectives and getting the mind thinking.
Yes.
And the one little thing you'll go, that one silly stupid thing that guy said, probably me most of the time, could open up something. You know, it's happened to me as well. So, you know, we're versions of each other, and we come together for a reason. And you always meet people for minutes, months, or longer for some reason or another.
And
right.
Shane,
You
that's
spend
why.
a lot of people spend a lot of their time, bartering their energy for an income, and I'm kind of tired of it already. So, like, I'm ready
You're
to
not
get
kind
that
of tired
energy
of it.
back.
You're past it now. You're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Shane,
I know where you're at.
that's why King Dom and I created this platform of having awakened and conscious interactions and building community, because we're no longer in separation. We're showing up. To me, I'm seeing it. We're showing up everywhere in all spaces and places. And we're in a time now where we're finally locking in and making the frequency that much stronger. Because yes, the world looks like it's going to hell in a handbasket, but we are experiencing it differently. And the more we collect other people who are, I'm not like D'Angelo. Wait a minute, I'm not sure. Wait a minute, you guys are telling me something that sounds like what I've gone through. They're just not fully aware, and we're here to help validate their experiences for them and to help them understand. That's why I broke down the definitions, because D'Angelo asked for it. He said some formal teaching. Yeah, I literally had to sit here the past week, and I'm like, okay, where do I start? All right. What's awakening? Awakening is the 7 stages, right? And we didn't even fully go through that. So we got more to talk about next week. But the definitions, the key terms themselves will help you understand when we're talking about vibration, frequency. 2 different things. Like I said, your vibration is what you are resonating. The frequency is the channel you're tuned into. And it's just a matter of, this is how come you're experiencing what you're experiencing, as far as awakening, spiritual awakening, and just having an awakening. And then we go into the ego and the higher self and understanding what these things actually are and identifying them within ourselves. Once you know it, you can't unknow it. And then you can relate it to your experience, and it's that much more powerful. So as we got people floating around just saying something's happening, I don't know what's going on. No, this is the space. We'll tell you exactly what's happening.
I think with the way things are gone now, especially on TikTok, and you've probably found, D'Angelo, at some point, everyone has, where, you're starting to ask the questions and wanting to learn and wanting to find out information. And because the algorithm works so quickly on TikTok, you watch the entirety of a couple of videos, that's all you're going to get. And it's so mixed up. And, one day you're reading stuff and you're going, yeah, I got it. The next day you come on, the algorithm is throwing you different stuff, and it gets very confusing. So I think the likes of, and this is my first time up on Dawn's live, and herself and Dom earlier were amazing. And I think a lot of that, you got to trust the people you're getting your information from. Mm-hmm. So general TikTok videos, I look through and someone might be making sense halfway through the video, but I'll click in and go, okay, they've got 200 followers. Now, to be fair, that doesn't mean that they don't know what they're talking about, but there is a lot of that out there where people are just, regurgitating the same information. So if you find people like Dawn, you've come up here tonight, I've come up here tonight, Dawn and Dom just seemed authentic. They work well together. They're talking, they're giving the information, but they're also allowing interaction.
Well, did you just...
And they've walked the path.
Did you just meet them, Shane?
I just came up at the same time as you. I came up on the thing, and I only came up. I was listening for a while. Yeah, I haven't been here before. So
he was in the chat for a little while.
Well, let me give you a little history real quick. So I have a talk show every Thursday. It's called Renaissance Man Live. It's an educate, support, inspire show that kind of talks about this stuff, but not in depth because I don't know this stuff. It's really about helping men live their best life every at 10 p.m. Eastern time zone. Anyway, my whole point is I saw Kingdom's content. He never really went live, but he has great content on this stuff. And when I saw it, this was like 4 or 5 months ago. When I saw it, it hit me so hard. It was like, oh my, I mean, I knew it was for me. It was for me. And I was like, I gotta meet this guy. We started talking. I had him come on my podcast, and he brought Dawn with, and from there, we've known each other. And about 2 months ago, I've been asking him, you guys got to do something like formal live because people need this information. And now we're here. So every Monday they go live now. They just started last week. Every Monday now they go live, 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. And they both have great content on this stuff. So they definitely know what they're talking about.
But there again, it's the basics. Like it's the energy and the vibration, and if it feels right, you'll go with it. And I probably jump way out of turns and I yapping away too much and so on. Like, and I apologize, but a lot of it is excitement too, because it's, as I've always said, your what do I say? Your vibe finds your tribe, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is exciting, isn't it? It is exciting.
It is. Yeah.
Yep.
It's not just you. You haven't just been in your head for so long. There's other people out there exactly the same, and you just get out and have a chat about it. And once you actually speak, there's no silly question. Once you speak and get out there, everything makes so much more sense.
Yeah. Yep. And we're no longer afraid because we don't feel like the weirdos that we used to feel like. Like you said, we've been alone for so long on these journeys.
Woo-woo.
And it's like now we're like I said earlier, we're linking up. It's finally making sense, and we're becoming stronger together. And it's like everybody, and it's also, we had to go through the process of learning how to respect each other's individuality and expression, because yes, we do have this collective consciousness. We have this universal consciousness. We have this inner understanding. But it's like, okay, this is how you're supposed to express it. Okay, cool. Well, this is how I'm going to do it. That's how they're going to do it. And that's how they're going to do it. But we're all saying the same thing. We're just doing it from different expressions and different experiences. But we had to learn that. We had to learn that respect. We had to learn that unconditional love for that. It doesn't mean, oh, we're supposed to work together. No, I admire what you're doing. I'm here for the conversation. I'm here for the love. I'm here for the raising of the consciousness. It's those things. But when you do find your tribe, that's where the real magic happens. And that's what we're creating. D'Angelo is here in the tribe. We got a couple other people in the box that are in the chat that are in the tribe. And it's just about we're creating our movement within the movement, if that makes sense. You know,
because it's easy and comfortable.
Yeah. It just flows. As long as it flows, that's where that's all that matters.
And trust me, there's a lot.
What I define with myself is, it can flow, you can be too far ahead, which will bring you back to sort out a few of your basics. Like I find that with lives with myself. Now, as I said, been Irish, it's an easy cop out. But I do find from being on different lives in other countries, there's different ways of running lives. You can't just have an open conversation. You let this person speak and so on and that kind of thing. And I do cross them boundaries sometimes, out of excitement. So you can be so far ahead that, it will bring you back to, as you said, respect and shutting up for a few minutes. So I do apologize, but it comes from an absolute love of chatting to you.
Yes, we appreciate you, Shane. Thank you so much. I hope to see you next week. We will be back.
I'm gonna follow you.
Yes, I just followed you too as well, Shane.
Yeah, I got follows in there. Yeah.
And then also, if you miss a week or whatever, can't join us. The playback will always be on our YouTube channel. I have to plug the mutual page because I set that up to D'Angelo. So we have an Instagram and we have a YouTube channel for the Awakened Man and the Awakened Woman conversations. But just go ahead and follow us, and I'm always going to be posting about it, always going to be talking about it. And like I said, we will be transitioning off of TikTok, and moving over to, we're deciding if we're going to do YouTube or if we're going to do both YouTube and Instagram or however we're going to do it. But follow us anyway. There's
a lot of movements that are moving off TikTok. It's a great platform in one way, but when you really want to get down to it, I think most, regardless what area you're in, there's a lot moving from it.
Yeah, it's since it got sold and all that, we're just not with it. So it's changed as well. But yes, D'Angelo,
but it's great. The whole thing is crazy, and the bit I love about it is, one day you're a teacher and the next day you're a student.
I love that. I've always loved that.
Isn't it? There is no rules. You just flow.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you, Shane, so much. Hope to see you next week. And it was such a pleasure meeting you.
And you, and I appreciate coming up. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. D'Angelo.
You're back here next week, right?
Yes, back here. We'll let you know when we do the shift over, because I don't know what's happening with what, but I've literally just been setting it all up so we can make that moving and continuously promoting for that. So the Instagram. So I have it. I'll send you the link for both. That way you can have it. Cool. And everything. But definitely, I just want to thank everybody for coming through. I hope you received anything. Feel free to DM me if you have any questions, if you have anything, any feedback, anything you want to talk about. I don't care. You can DM me, or if you want to contact me for any coaching, any spiritual counseling, definitely hit my Stand store. The link is in my bio. I am available. I have appointment dates available because I'm here for you. I'm here for you and I'm here with you. Also, I know Dom is giving coaching. I think his link is in his bio as well, or you can DM him as he's offering coaching as well, because we're here. We're here to help. We're here to assist in any way possible as you go through this thing called a spiritual awakening.